What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Sayushi, and we are back again for the, the Genshin Impact series of Should You Roll. Now, I didn't have one of these for Ayaka just because I think it was pretty obvious everyone was going to roll for her anyways. But we have the new banner in today, which includes new 5-star character Yoimiya, as well as the new 4-star character Seiyu. And I might end up doing a couple rolls on this just to see if I can end up getting Seiyu, but generally speaking, I'm going to kind of be holding off. We also have the new 5-star bow to end up going with Seiyu, which, if you guys haven't already seen how bunk the weapon banner changes are, I basically have like streams where I ended up highlighting it. But in short, you can end up selecting the weapon that you want, and then you have to get not the weapon that you're selected to 2 times, and then you have to hit pity again to end up getting the 3rd weapon. But anyways, what we're going to be doing today is just hopping into the trial run. I do gotta let you guys know a couple things about the character just in general. So Yoimiya is a character that I'm personally not really gonna roll for, but I know a buddy of mine is going to, and people have crunched the numbers, and she is absolutely insane with the way that her damage is dealt, especially when you get to the higher constellations. But in short, Yoimiya's elemental skill converts her normal attacks into blazing arrows. So she has pyro infused arrows just with her normal auto attacks, which is pretty crazy. Her elemental burst deals AoE pyro damage and applies Aurus Blaze, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, to one of the hit enemies. And then when an opponent under the influence of the Aurus Blaze is hit by most attacks from other party members, an explosion occurs, dealing AoE pyro damage. Additionally, elemental orbs will drop because it's a trial, blah blah blah. But I mean, either way, you guys have probably already seen her in her world quest and stuff. She's a really cool character. Like, I like her a lot. It's just I personally am not the biggest fan of bow characters. But if we use our E ability, you can see we've already changed our basic attacks just to pyro damage. And I mean, it already just has like a lot of AoE to it in general, which is pretty crazy. It lasts a considerable amount of time. Her aimed shots, if we wait for it to fully charge, you can see we can get 3 fireworks around us. And what those are going to do is not only just a lot of damage, but they actually do, let me see if I can get it to trigger. They can do like a homing shot. It's not like super duper awesome, like that's what you're trying to do with her or anything like that. Most of all, I would just recommend getting her for her E ability, just because it's absolutely insane the amount of damage that she can end up doing. Obviously, these are going to end up being enemies that are susceptible to pyro, but there's her ultimate ability, which once again, very beautiful. And I just find her to be hilariously powerful because she can actually, like, one of the biggest things that I like about Genshin Impact is ragdolling, and she can actually ragdoll just with her basic attacks, which is pretty crazy and pretty unheard of for most bow characters, right? So either way, it's kind of like another Ganyu where your charge attacks can end up being really strong, so you could end up building her towards Wander's Troop if you want, but generally speaking, she's going to end up working with the new artifact set, which I'm assuming they have for her trial run. We'll try, I want to, continue challenge, because I want to actually see what gear they've got associated on her. So yeah, she's using the new artifact set, which you do end up getting from the Inazuma domain, which the 2-piece set is pretty much just free 18% damage, same as the Gladiator set. But the 4-piece set is when casting an elemental skill, if the character has 15 or more energy, they lose 15 energy, and normal and charged / plunging attack damage is increased by 50% for 10 seconds. So if the character has more than 15 energy, it basically takes that 15 energy away in favor of giving you a buff, which is single-handedly going to end up making her absolutely cracked in terms of her damage. The bow that they've got on her, of course, is going to end up being the Thundering Pulse, which is the 5-star, so increases attack by 20%. Already crazy. Grants the Might of the Thunder Emblem. So at stack levels 1, 2, 3, the Thunder Emblem increases normal attack damage by 12, 24, and 40%. Absolutely insane bow. I'm just never going to wish on the weapon banners ever again. The character will obtain 1 stack of Thunder Emblem in each of the following scenarios. So normal attack damage just being dealt, stack lasts 5 seconds. An elemental skill will give you another stack that lasts 10 seconds. And energy being less than 100% will end up giving you another stack that only disappears when your energy is full. So basically it's really cool because it makes you really want to play on the offensive with her, and I just think that that's really, really cool. Each stack's duration is calculated independently, so it's all about being aggressive. That's everything about her. And let's just see what other stats they got for her. Oh my god, of course they got some cracked crit damage, but I think she actually levels up with crit damage if I'm not mistaken. Or is it? No, it's probably because of the bow. Do they have constellations in this trial run? No, they do not. Then there's her talents as well, which I would honestly recommend that you probably focus more so on, if you want her as your main DPS, you're probably focusing on her E and her basic attack. Rather than, you know, and then coming to her ult last. But if you're using her as a sub DPS, then you probably want to have her ult just because of that tag that it's going to end up doing on enemies that is ultimately going to end up giving everybody a general buff, right? So really cool character, very powerful. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick summary of it. Of course, this is going to end up being her Ascension materials, which I'll have a link in the description to this. I already have an hour video that kind of talks about in more detail about Yoimiya's abilities and so on and so forth, so you can check the card in the top right if you really, really want to. But generally speaking, this is kind of a very brief summary of should you roll for this character. That's entirely up to you. Is it a character that you're interested in lore-wise, or more specifically, do you want to have a 5-star version of Amber? That's the real bottom line. And power creep is absolutely insane within Azuma. So far, both Ayaka and Yoimiya are insanely powerful compared to all the other characters, to the point where I actually get a little bit frustrated because, I mean, even Ayaka has like abilities that are equivalent to my C6 Kazuha, but anyways, hopefully you found this video helpful. I'll have another short video that's going to end up coming out today talking about Seiyu. If you guys really want to, you can let me know in the comments if you ended up rolling for Yoimiya, and more importantly, did you end up getting her or did you lose your 50-50? The next banners are going to end up being Bale and then Kokomi, so maybe you want to wait. It's entirely up to you. I'm definitely going to end up rolling when Bale comes around, which is specifically why I'm holding off with Yoimiya, especially because she requires Ascension materials from the Pyro Cube, and I hate that guy because I don't have any water main character.